Hi there, Stephen Oliver, and I'm here with Greg Moody and with Mindy Godfrey. And we wanted to talk a little bit about the developmental process that we put advisors through, wealth managers, as far as the management of their practice. And one of my favorite quotes is Peter Drucker. He says, "The purpose of any business is to create and keep a customer." And oftentimes, especially as you develop a bigger and bigger staff, I was working with a very high-end top-notch wealth advisor recently, and after getting into the weeds with what was it, Greg? One, two, three, four, five or six different staff members. I can't keep track because they were floating around the orbit. Is none of them thought that way. None of them were going through their daily activity thinking, what does this have to do with getting a new client in for our practice, or what does this do with keeping the customer and or having something else, that additional product, service, and so forth that they need from us. Pick up from there. I mean, it's the common syndrome is they're focused on the minutia of the day-to-day of the business and the technical aspects. They're not focused on the real purpose of the business.
Well, there's so much money to be had and so much extra growth you can have in your company when they can add on services that we offer. Both in terms of what the individual client might need, but also maybe other family members that they may want to get involved in what they're investing or what they're using your services for. So it may seem like, well, yeah, but the person that's answering my phone or taking care of some of my paperwork, they don't need to know about that. They just need to take care of my paperwork. Yeah, but they're the ones that are having a lot of times more conversations with the clients than you are. So they may be able to find opportunities, and it doesn't matter if they have a college degree or they're the RIA or they've got experience in this field. They need to understand about the business enough so that they know exactly what you said, to create the client and then keep the client. And there may be other things that they may or may not do well, which is when the customer calls, to make sure they show good customer service and good client service, so we keep them forever. Because I think one quote that I heard we were talking about the other day is only 40% of investment advisor clients of our clients are happy with their investment advisor, and 60% are unhappy. Yeah. A lot of that's because
a third are actively looking to change.
Yeah, exactly. And that's really a scary stat. And we don't know, if they're unhappy with us, they're probably not actively telling us. You might think they're complaining, but most of them are probably not actively complaining. It's the support staff or other people we may have working with us that might be part of the problem. The other thing is, even if you're a one-person show, how you build your company up from ground zero, these things need to be thought through, so that when we add another support staff, as we help you grow, then you can make sure that they follow this same concept.
Yeah. Well, and 100% of the focus, I think of when you're looking at your business or looking at my business, I really focus on two things. What's the least brain damage I can have, right? How do I keep it as stress-free and as easy to manage as possible, and how to have the highest net profit as possible? And most of the advice that I see floating around really doesn't have much to do with either one of those things. It's about complicating the business. It's about accommodating staff on whatever their needs are. It's not about minimizing the brain damage and having the highest level of net profit as humanly possible. And those are the things that we really focus on simplifying, getting to the priority list of the top three things, not a 42-point to-do list, and really keeping the brain damage simple and expanding and dramatically expanding the bottom line, so that there's money left over at the end of the day, and it's not going out to payroll and other unnecessary expenses.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times we keep adding staff on because our staff says, well, we need more help. We need more help. We need more help. And that's a good time, whenever somebody says we need more help, to look at the business and see if it's running efficiently. Yeah. That's always a clue to me. Whenever I have any of my staff say they need more help, it's that maybe there's something wrong in the way the business is running, or they need more training, not necessarily more help. Because what I find is, the more help you get, the less efficient the business runs.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Well, if you go from 2 people to 3 people, then you have 3 people doing a third of what the 2 people, a third less than what the other 2 people used to be doing, usually getting less done. We had an example recently. We took an advisor and frankly put more new clients in his pipeline in a month than he had had in any 12-month period in years, at least. And immediately, all the systems blew up, right? It wasn't immediately clear who's supposed to be following up, who's supposed to be confirming it, who's supposed to be on top of the appointments, what the follow-up mechanisms are. And again, it's a very important management staffing issue, is to really clarify each piece of the new client sales process, the new client onboarding process, the ongoing contact and follow-up, so that as you increase the volume or as you get more high value new clients in, that those systems are operating smoothly and that nobody gets lost in the shuffle.
Yeah, I guess the good news is that when we start working with one of you, that we kind of can break the system. It'll break because you have so much lead flow or so many new clients that maybe you can't handle the call flow, or you can't handle the sales process or what happens next. And that's a good problem to have.
Yeah,
absolutely. Still a problem.
But it's still a problem, right?
Yeah, it's still a problem. And that's why we want to help you fix this. And this is why it's a relevant topic. We want to be able to fix it kind of a little bit ahead of time, so that when you do get the influx of people, that you can manage it well, so that you don't go crazy. We don't want that to happen to you.
Yeah. Well, and we've all, Greg, you and I, at the very least, Mindy, you've been in some big organizations, but we've had a lot of experience managing staff across multiple retail locations, multiple offices, and know in advance that you've got to have the scripts, the policies, the practices, the methodologies, the software underneath it, the automation where possible to support those processes while keeping it simple, keeping it straightforward, and keeping it automatic to the greatest extent possible. What I see so many times happens, though, is and not to take anything away, I guess, from our brilliance, but a lot of times the management side of it is having somebody objective, stepping back, looking at it from 30,000 foot in the air perspective, looking at it over your shoulder, without the emotional content and the stress of the day to day, going, well, does this make sense? What does she do? What does he do? I mean, why should it go from this person to this person to this person? Why are you using this software and this software? Sometimes it's just a matter of having that objective view with somebody that you'll listen to that can take a look at it from an objective standpoint and say, hey, this is messed up. let's figure out how to simplify this, or let's figure out how to trim down the number of mouths to feed, and at the same time simplify and automate things.
Yep, absolutely. And that's a 2 or 3 times fold increase in the number of clients you get, or the way that, or how much money you make, but also just kind of in terms of the sanity you'll have in your business and your lifestyle. We want you guys to be able to, have a vacation once in a while and manage your life the right way too. So that's really what this is about, is making sure that everything runs smoothly.
Yeah, I was listening to, as you know, I've done the torrent of everybody's podcast. But one of the guys, I forget who it was, or I would give attribution, said, you should plan on in your business, at least taking a month, a year off. And I mean, solid, and you're gone. And the question is if everything falls apart when you're gone for whether it's 2 days or you're gone for a month, that means your underlying systems, both the automation and the people are not in place. You've got to have it there where it's not dependent upon your frantic activity minute by minute, day by day, but where the systems are happening, where the processes are happening. How big you get, how many offices, how much assets under management, how many people working for you is a personal decision, right? I always come back to brain damage. How many headaches am I creating for myself, and how much of a bottom line am I creating, and then build things around that lifestyle and the income, rather than vice versa. Tried to build this big empire without thinking through, am I creating the best lifestyle for myself, and am I creating the highest level of net income for myself?
Yeah, and I mean, so that's what we're going to help you with is walking through each of those steps one at a time so that you can get there. And sometimes it's untangling some of the processes that you've got in place right now.
Yeah. Well, and documenting and systematizing it, because so many times, especially, for a high performing individual, is they've never sat down and documented, here's the way that this is replicatable. Here's the way that I could have somebody else have this initial client intake conversation. Here's the way I can have this, somebody else could have this follow-up conversation. Here's the way these systems could happen is it's all happened, perhaps organically or naturally, and without thinking through those processes. We help you step back, sometimes document, but definitely systematize. And oftentimes, I mean, I'm more likely to have people get rid of things that they're doing that seem like a good idea. As you know, I mean, in big corporations and in little offices, you had a great idea that seemed like 3 years ago, and you're still doing it. It's not creating a new customer. It's not helping keep a customer. And if it's not helping create a customer or helping keep a customer or improving, maybe said differently, improving that lifetime value of a customer, they probably, you have a lot of things that you're doing that just, should go in the shredder rather than in the file cabinet, for instance.
Yeah, reduction in systems is better than keeping anything that's not working. And you're right. But a lot of times you can't see that unless somebody's looking over your shoulder that is objective.
Yeah. And I will say, and Mindy, you've talked to an awful lot more advisors frontline than either one of us have, because you're the point person here. But I would say most people think their offices is working pretty well. And if I just had 5 more new clients a month or 10 more new clients a month, or if I had one more big whale, a quarter or something like that, they think that'd be fine. And what we realize is that's just usually not true. It's certainly not true if you ramp up the volume or want to dramatically improve the quality. What would you add to that, Mindy, before we wrap up here?
Yeah, I think that's really the big thing is being able to take on more clients. I think that's part of why the expectations are so low so many times, because there's not a system in place to really be able to handle a larger volume of clients or to be able to handle great communication with higher value clients. And that's something that we can help address.
Yeah. Well, let's wrap it up there. But some food to think about, some thoughts to look at in your business, and that's what we'll take an objective look at and help you solve some of those issues that may be becoming a problem for you.
Look forward to working with you.